Yo, what's going on, YouTube? And welcome to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. We are taking a look today at the Vegas Golden Knights' early season success. They have a 10-2-1 record through 13 games this year. They lead the top of the Honda West Division. They're one of the top 5 teams in the overall NHL standings. We're going to be taking a look at the success of the Vegas Golden Knights in this video. If you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up and an even bigger subscribe down below, and let's take a look at the Vegas Golden Knights. Alright, so the Vegas Golden Knights. I've been wanting to make a video about these guys. I was hoping to get the gold jersey before making this video because it's quite fitting with the thumbnail I have for it. Fool's Gold. And the reason I bring that up is a lot of people around the hockey world seem to be questioning the Vegas Golden Knights' early season success. Now, we know they're a good hockey team. We saw what they did in the offseason. They brought back Robin Lehner, so they have Robin Lehner and Marc-Andre Fleury as their goaltending tandem. And not only that, they brought in a now division rival in the St. Louis Blues, their former captain, Alex Pietrangelo, on a big free agency acquisition for the Knights. They are completely going for it right now. Obviously, Kelly McCrimmon thinks the window is now in Vegas. And based off of how they're playing right now, that prediction seems pretty solid. And looking at the Honda West Division as well, Vegas can benefit from teams like Arizona, maybe struggling a little bit. You have the LA Kings, San Jose Sharks, and the Anaheim Ducks, all sort of either in the beginning of a rebuild or at the end of a cup window. San Jose. So, with that said, Vegas has seen the opportunity where they can really take advantage of this division. And that's why people are questioning, is this team really this good, or is it truly fool's gold? Now, the reason they say that is because you look at the teams they've been playing against. The LA Kings, the San Jose Sharks, the Anaheim Ducks, the Minnesota Wild, the Colorado Avalanche, the St. Louis Blues, and the Arizona Coyotes. All the teams in their division. You could make an argument that most of these teams in the overall standings are not that good. You look at the bottom 10 teams in the NHL. You've got San Jose, LA, Minnesota, Arizona, Anaheim, all teams in their division. Right? So you could see how this is a problem because, the problem is they should be playing the way they are. And the problem is the way the NHL has it this year, they're not playing, the teams on the East that are really solid. The Division of Death in the Mass Mutual East Division. Or some of those teams in the Scotia North Division like Montreal or Toronto. So you can make a good argument that they have an easier schedule than other divisions. And you'd be absolutely right. But they've been taking care of business, and that's why they have the record they do at 10-2-1, the 4th best in the NHL, best in the Honda West Division. Another thing to keep in mind, looking at the top point producers. Leading the way is Mark Stone with 16 points, Max Pacioretty, Jonathan Marchessault, Shea Theodore is up in that conversation as well. Chandler Stevenson, pretty solid to see him there, former Hershey Bear, so I'm excited to see him doing quite well at the NHL level. Alec Martinez putting up some goals. I'm a little bit disappointed by Bill Karlsson, William Karlsson. Not the best start for him. Only 8 points this year. He's definitely been off to a slower start. But that's obviously been taken over by other players, so it's not the worst thing in the world. And then goaltending. Guys, they have gold bricks in between the pipes, quite literally. Marc-Andre Fleury with a 1.38 goals against average and a save percentage of a .944. Robin Lehner has been pretty solid as well. Not as good as last season, but he's been pretty solid. A goals against average of a 2.96 and a save percentage of an .890. So overall, the numbers have been pretty solid for the Golden Knights in between the pipes, on the score sheet, and even on the power play and penalty kill. Special teams, they're a little bit lower in that category. 19th in the NHL, 18.6%. And their penalty kill is one of top 6 in the NHL, 6th overall, with an 84.6% penalty kill percentage. So not too bad. And you look at how Vegas has done under Pete DeBoer. I thought that was a questionable move at the time. But it seems like these two organizations have gone in completely different directions since the hiring of Pete DeBoer. I'm talking about the San Jose Sharks, since they've let go of DeBoer, and since Vegas have picked them up. They were saying the other night, Vegas has not lost 2 consecutive games in regulation under Pete DeBoer in his tenure with the Vegas Golden Knights. That's insane. That is really, really good because now, remember, I think they hired him at the end of 2019, which is just surreal. It really is. And the reason I wanted to talk about Vegas today, we're looking at Marc-Andre Fleury. Obviously, he's been in the news recently because he wanted to go back to Pittsburgh, and there's been this whole clusterfuck, quite honestly, of, he wanted to go back to Pittsburgh, and, Vegas didn't want to retain salary on his contract to send him back, and they had an assistant GM, interim GM in Pittsburgh, and there was just a whole mess, and now it's been proven false that those rumors never happened. At the end of the day, it doesn't matter. Marc-Andre Fleury has been in the news a lot recently, and I know the Vegas Golden Knights the Golden Knight fans like Flower. Marc-Andre Fleury, like I said, with the goal percentage and the save percentage and the goals against average that he has, 2 shutouts as well, who has allowed more than 2 goals just once through his 8 appearances, sits tied for the lowest goals against average in the 2020-2021 NHL season with a minimum of 5 games. So he has the best save percentage the best numbers overall out of any goaltender this season that has played at least 5 games. Because if you play 1 game, you get a shutout, obviously you're going to have some solid numbers. So Marc-Andre Fleury has really, I think he's taken this Robin Lehner thing as healthy competition. And I think both of these guys understand that. They're both very competitive. And I think, honestly, as an Islander fan, I'd love to have Marc-Andre Fleury and, Robin Lehner as a goaltending tandem. Not just because I want Lehner back. I mean, maybe Fleury, he's Pittsburgh rivalry. Maybe I don't want him back. But overall, his character and the way he plays, obviously he's taken this stuff to heart from last season where Lehner was getting playoff starts and stuff like that. I think Fleury really took the offseason to use that to his advantage and kind of motivate him to work harder. And we're seeing that right now this season. And the Vegas Golden Knights, Kelly McCrimmon, Peter DeBoer, they're not going to be complaining much because the team's winning games and their goaltending looks solid. So, is it fool's gold? Like I said, the main topic for this video is Vegas really this good? And I hate to say it, but we may not find out this season entirely. Because you can look at teams like St. Louis and Colorado as really their bigger competition. But even Colorado, where they sit in the standings, I think they're 14th in the NHL overall. So they're not even that good overall. Like, I was expecting Colorado to be higher in the standings. I think as the season goes along, they'll make that up. Remember, they've missed the last week of games. I know Avs fans are going to remind me of that as well. They have an unbelievable array of jerseys. I love this gray home jersey. Now that I've seen the gold jersey, I love the gold jersey. No doubt. That's going to become their home jersey in the future. But this gray jersey is I think it's a nice alternate jersey for the Golden Knights in the future. I hope they just don't retire it because it is a nice jersey overall. And in a couple months, I'm going to be picking up Seattle jerseys. So that's something I have to do. But overall, I'm really excited to see what happens here with Vegas. Like I said, we may not find out this season, even because the problem is, even if they get to the Cup final, or even in the conference finals against the other division, the Central Division, or whatever division they play against, at the end of the day, we're not going to really know where Vegas stands because they're not playing teams consistently during the regular season outside of their division because they might go on a really good run in the playoffs, and that just may be good timing. Or they really struggle in the postseason, and everybody's going to say, oh, well, we knew that Honda West division wasn't that good. It may be a combination of just bad timing and injuries and whatever else it could be. Another team getting really hot at the right time. So, do I think this is fool's gold? No. I agree that Vegas has an easier division, but I think overall their team, the way they play under Pete DeBoer, the numbers from their goaltending, just all of that, at the end of the day, because we're seeing it with Colorado, right? Is Colorado the real deal? They've struggled more against teams like Anaheim, which they had, Vegas had a tough game against Anaheim last week. But it's how they came back against Colorado the other night. And that's the stuff, you're going to have your games where you're off. And Anaheim, a little bit desperate early in the season. They still feel like maybe they have a chance to make the playoffs, even with Jamie Drysdale and Trevor Zegras killing it in the American Hockey League. At the end of the day, it really comes down to, does Vegas consistently beat up on the teams below them in the standings? You don't have to beat Colorado every time. You don't have to beat LA every time you play them. But it's the way that you play them. And I've seen those issues with St. Louis. They haven't been consistent enough. And I think that's why there's a gap between St. Louis and Vegas. Because overall, Vegas is going to find a way to beat teams like Colorado in a low-scoring, tight game, 1-0. But they can still take care of business against LA, San Jose, and Anaheim as well. So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Vegas Golden Knights right now? Do you think this is fool's gold, or do you think this Golden Knights team is legit? If you scrape that little bit of gold on the gold coin, is it going to come up as stone under, or is it the real deal? Is it real gold here in Vegas? So, guys, let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And if you guys like what we're doing here at Goal Line Hockey, want to see the latest news around the NHL, make sure to give this video a big thumbs up. And even bigger subscribe down below. Thank you so much for watching, and let's go Golden Knights.